What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to a newer series on the channel called Your Requests. This is the segment on my channel where I take your requests for movies that you would like me to watch and review them. And I've only done one of these so far, but I've been really excited for this because I did a Q&A recently, and this seemed to be the thing that everyone was requesting, is for me to do requests of movies that you guys want to watch. And I always have fun with that. And it's also kind of nerve-wracking to watch movies that I know you guys love because I'm always worried, like, if I don't like something, I don't want you to ever feel like that's reflective of your opinions of movies, or make you feel bad about something you enjoy, which is the great part about art, is that art is subjective and you can like and dislike whatever you want. But I'm looking forward to this because it gives me an opportunity to watch movies from all different times and places and things that I might not necessarily consider on my own. And this is a movie that I'm honestly kind of surprised that I missed it when it was in the theater, because this is directed by Drew Goddard, who made the film The Cabin in the Woods, which I absolutely adored. I think I saw The Cabin in the Woods in theaters like 4 times. I just thought it was so much fun, really well shot, great performances in that movie. And so knowing that he was involved in this with the star-studded cast in this movie, including Cynthia Erivo, who is getting a ton of praise for her performance in Wicked, which I still haven't seen, and that's a shame because I love the Wicked musical, but I'll watch it at some point in the near future. And because of that cast and because of the director, I was really looking forward to watching this film. And the movie I'm going to be telling you about today is Bad Times at the El Royale. Bad Times at the El Royale is directed by Drew Goddard. Lake Tahoe, 1969. 7 strangers, each one with a secret to bury, meet at the El Royale, a decadent motel with a dark past. In the course of a fateful night, everyone will have one last shot at redemption. So like I said, I'm a huge fan of Drew Goddard's Cabin in the Woods. This movie has a phenomenal cast involved with it, and I thought this movie was incredibly entertaining. I enjoyed myself from start to finish. I thought the performances were great. I thought that it was slickly edited. The cinematography was fantastic. I thought for the most part it was incredibly suspenseful and kept me on the edge of my seat. If I have any problems with this movie, it's at about the 2/3 of the way into the film, when a certain plot arc is introduced. I think it really loses its steam towards the end, and I wasn't as invested with what I was watching as I was earlier in the film. But I don't think that necessarily takes away from the fact that this is a really enjoyable experience and a movie that I definitely recommend for people to watch. And I'm excited to tell you a little bit about it today. So this movie has a ton of characters, so I'm not even going to try to introduce you to each and every character. But the base level premise that you need to know is there's a hotel called the El Royale that sits on the border of California and Nevada, and it literally splits it right down the middle, and you can actually stay on whichever side of the hotel you want. And we get this entire cast of characters that shows up at this hotel, which is seemingly abandoned other than the guy who runs the hotel, who seems to be a little bit out of it, that we learn more as to why as the film progresses onward. And all of these people show up at this place. Well, seemingly as the movie moves forward, we learn that each and every one of these characters has very specific motivations as to why they are here. And when they all clash and we learn more information about them, things get violent and out of control. So like I said, I really enjoyed this movie a lot, and there are a multitude of reasons for that. For starters, the performances. I loved each and every performance in this film. I thought everyone brought their 110% to the table, especially like Cynthia Erivo has to sing in this movie. She does a great job. Jeff Bridges is just a legend, and he's incredible in this movie in his role. Jon Hamm's really great. Dakota Johnson, Cailee Spaeny for the minimal time that she's in it. Chris Hemsworth is really good in this movie. Lewis Pullman, who plays the concierge at the hotel, was honestly one of the big standouts for me in this movie. I thought his role was really great, and when we learned more about his character, I was really invested with whatever he was doing. Having such a star-studded ensemble cast makes the movie really interesting to watch. I loved the way this thing was shot. Similarly to Cabin in the Woods, it's very slickly edited and stylized to keep your attention. And there's a lot of really great moments where the camera holds patiently for you to watch something play out on screen, which I think really kind of helps keep the tension and the anxiety alive. For a lot of people, when they watch like an action movie or a thriller, some people want more chaotic editing in order to like keep the pace and keep you kind of engaged in that way. But for me personally, I like more patient editing. I like movies where you have to kind of focus a little bit more and like something horrific is revealed on screen, which causes you to pay closer attention. And I think this movie has a really nice combination of both. There are moments where there's really patient slow cinematography. And there's moments, especially towards the third act, where when things kind of blow out of control with the violence, that the camera work is a little bit more chaotic. And I can appreciate both. I think it works really well for this. And it's told in a semi non-linear way where we're kind of jumping between stories, and sometimes we'll backtrack in order to meet to a specific point. And I think that makes for a really captivating viewing experience because you're getting new information revealed to you each and every time. So the movie never feels stale. You're always getting something exciting presented to you, which makes the movie overall a really fun watch. I love when things are revealed in that manner, and you get just little bits and pieces of information so that towards the end you'll get this big gut punch overall when everything is finally revealed. And that's what I really liked about this movie, is it's always suspenseful. I really liked the first half of this movie is damn near perfect. I thought it was incredibly well done. I loved the way that the characters' motivations were revealed, especially like Dakota Johnson's character. I really liked when she arrives and we learn a little bit about her, and then we get more information when Cailee Spaeny's character is introduced. And just like that roller coaster ride that you're on as a viewer really makes for a great experience. The big issue that I have with this movie, like I said at the beginning, once Chris Hemsworth's character is introduced, and this has nothing to do with his performance because I think he does a really nice job, I don't care about that plot line as much. I don't think it's handled in a way that's super interesting, and I feel like it kind of takes away from everything else. Like the Jeff Bridges plot line is, and Lewis Pullman's character arc, two of the most interesting parts of the entire film. And I really like the way that Jon Hamm's character kind of interacts with all of them. It's really cool and it's intriguing and it's mysterious. But the Chris Hemsworth plot arc is very on the nose, and it's kind of like he shows up at the end of the movie to give like a violent showdown at the end, and there's not really anything all that interesting to his character other than he's a cult leader. I mean, you don't really get much more out of it. He does give a really unhinged performance, and I really like the way that he moved and how he interacted with other characters. I thought he was really great, which honestly, giving like that level of a villain performance really just kind of showcases how amazing he is with Furiosa, and that villain performance is one of my favorites of the year. But he does what he can here. I just don't think that plot is all that fascinating. It really is the least mysterious, and then like everyone else's lives kind of get intertangled with that, and it's just not all that engaging in comparison to everything else that happens in the first half of the movie. And this thing is like 2 hours and 25 minutes long, and because of that end segment, it does start to feel like it overstays its welcome a little bit. Not to say that I wasn't enjoying myself, but I just wasn't on the edge of my seat the way I was through the first half of the movie. It was a lot less engaging in those moments, but I do think the movie overall is still incredibly effective. I think it's very performance driven. I think the cinematography really keeps you engaged and on the edge of your seat. And I think if you've never seen this movie before, it's 100% worth watching. And it's a movie I definitely would revisit again. I think there's so much here that's worthwhile to continue to watch. And this, I think, is only Drew Goddard's second film. He hasn't made anything else. And I'd be interested to see if he works on something else in the future, because he definitely is a very talented director. And this movie really goes to show why. So have you seen Bad Times at the El Royale? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was incredibly entertaining, and I really enjoyed watching it. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.